You walk out to your tomato plants and there it is, the fat green tomato hornworm you've been hunting all week. Your hand's already reaching for it, but this one looks wrong. Its back is covered in dozens of tiny white cocoons, like grains of rice glued to its skin. Every instinct says squash it, drop it, get it out of your garden. Don't, because that ugly alien-looking hornworm covered in white is quietly doing something for you that no spray, no trap, and no amount of handpicking ever could. It's the best free pest control you have. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why the gardeners who kill it are making the single most expensive mistake in the whole tomato patch, and why the ones who leave it alone barely have a hornworm problem at all. Let's start with what you're actually looking at. That caterpillar is a tomato hornworm, big green, with that little curved horn on its tail end. On its own, it's one of the most destructive pests a tomato grower will ever meet. A single hornworm can strip a plant of its leaves almost overnight, chewing through foliage and even the green fruit, leaving bare stems where a healthy plant used to be. If you've ever come outside to find your tomatoes looking like something ate them in the dark, this is usually who did it. So yeah, normally you want these gone. But those white things on its back? Those aren't eggs the hornworm laid. They're not a disease you can catch. They're not a sign the caterpillar is rotting. They are cocoons, and they belong to something else entirely. Here's where the story turns. Those cocoons are the work of a tiny parasitic wasp, a Braconid wasp, most often a species called Cotesia congregata. And before you flinch at the word wasp, understand this. It's smaller than a grain of rice. It doesn't sting you. It has zero interest in you or your picnic. Its entire life is built around one job, hunting hornworms. Here's how it works, and it's honestly one of the wildest things happening in your backyard. A female Braconid wasp finds a hornworm. She lands on it and injects her eggs directly inside the caterpillar's body. The eggs hatch inside, and the larvae begin feeding on the hornworm from the inside out. Carefully, feeding on the fatty tissue and fluids while keeping the caterpillar alive just long enough. Then, when they're ready, those larvae chew their way out through the skin and spin the little white cocoons you're staring at right now, stuck all over the hornworm's back. Stop and think about what that means. Every one of those white cocoons is a baby wasp that grew up eating the pest that's been destroying your plants. And that hornworm, the one covered in them, it's already finished. It's stopped doing real damage. It won't become a moth. It won't lay more eggs. It's basically a hollowed-out nursery for the very insects that keep hornworms in check. Now here's the part that should change how you garden forever. Those cocoons are about to hatch. In a matter of days, a whole new generation of Braconid wasps is going to chew out of those cocoons, unfold their wings, and fly off into your garden looking for the next hornworm to lay their eggs in. And the next, and the next. So picture the two futures. In future one, you see the hornworm, you panic, you crush it, cocoons and all. You feel good for about 10 seconds, but you just killed dozens of wasps that were minutes away from becoming your personal pest patrol. And the other hornworms you haven't found yet? Nothing's coming for them now. You just volunteered to handpick this garden yourself every single day for the rest of the season. In future two, you leave it. You walk away. Those wasps hatch, spread out, and go hunting. They find the hornworms you'd never spot. The little ones tucked under leaves, blending in perfectly. And they take care of them for free while you're inside drinking your coffee. One of those futures is a lot less work, and it isn't the one where you killed the bug. Let me clear up the thing almost everyone gets wrong here, because this is the myth that costs gardeners the most. People look at a hornworm covered in white and assume the worst. They think it's contagious. They think those are hornworm eggs, and that if they don't destroy it, they'll have 100 more hornworms next week. It's the exact opposite. Those cocoons don't produce more hornworms. They produce more hornworm hunters. Leaving that caterpillar in your garden doesn't multiply your pest problem. It multiplies your defense. And here's a detail that makes it even better. These Braconid wasps don't just target hornworms. Different Braconid species parasitize a whole range of garden pests, aphids, cabbage worms, and other caterpillars that chew up your vegetables. So when you protect that one population and let them establish in your yard, you're not just solving hornworms, you're building a standing army against a dozen different pests, and you never have to feed it, pay it, or spray a single drop of anything. Which brings up the other quiet cost nobody talks about. The reflex for most people with a hornworm problem is to reach for insecticide. But here's the trap. Broad insecticides don't read labels. They don't kill only the pest. They wipe out the Braconid wasps, the ladybugs, the lacewings, the predators that were doing your pest control for free. So you spray, you knock back the hornworms for a week, and then they come roaring back. Except now the wasps that used to keep them in balance are gone too. You didn't solve the problem. You disabled the thing that was solving it for you. That's the cruel irony of the spray bottle. The more you use it, the more you need it. So what should you actually do when you find one? It's almost too simple. If you find a hornworm covered in white cocoons, leave it exactly where it is. Don't move it, don't squash it, don't drop it in a bucket. Let those cocoons hatch right there in your garden. So the next generation of wasps launches from the middle of your tomatoes, exactly where you want them. And the hornworms you find that are plain green with no cocoons, those you can still hand pick and remove. That's completely fine. That's the clean, natural way to protect your plants. Just check the back first, every single time. Because that one detail, cocoons or no cocoons, is the difference between removing a pest and murdering your best defense. Now here's the thing I really want you to sit with. That hornworm you almost crushed on instinct wasn't a threat anymore. It was a sign. A sign that your garden is starting to balance itself, that the predators have found the prey, that the system is working the way nature actually intended without you fighting it every step of the way. The healthiest gardens aren't the ones with zero bugs. They're the ones crawling with the right bugs, the ones where the pests show up and something quietly shows up right behind them to keep the whole thing in check. The gardeners who understand that spend their evenings enjoying their tomatoes. The ones who don't spend their evenings at war, so the next time you're out there and you spot that fat green caterpillar wearing a coat of little white cocoons, you'll know it's not the enemy, it's the cavalry. And that tiny wasp, the one smaller than a grain of rice, it's not the only backyard insect that everyone's been taught to fear for all the wrong reasons. Because there's another one you've almost certainly killed on sight, that might be doing even more to protect your home than this one does for your garden. And that's exactly where we're going next.